Bring back my bar sampling. Who do you pick? How do you do them? How do you ship? Why do you do it? So many questions. And I know that everybody does these differently. So I'm going to talk to you about how I did them, why I did them this way, and how I'm going to follow up. So last year, I had 8 clubbers, and there was, or I say last year, December, because we had a January release from Bring Back My Bars, my clubbers, got one of every single scent. That was 25 cents. 8 customers, 8, that was a whole bar. It was awesome. So I was like, yes, I'm going to do this. Whew, that was a lot. Then there was also other samples that had come out. We had Mardi Gras coming. We had a Valentine's Day collection and something else that was releasing in January that I got the early access for. So now I have 8 boxes. Like, it was boxes, because all of those, I was giving them a full cube. There was so much work, and man, at least in December, I didn't have to worry about anything melting, but it was so much work, and it was not duplicatable. It was not feasible if I had more than 8 clubbers. It was definitely not something that I want to ever put anybody else through of how I did it, because it was a lot of work. Like, it was crazy. And guess how many orders I got out of it? 2 orders for all that work. So I had to think, what could I do that was better? What could I do that was different? How would I be able to get better sales out of what I was paying for? So what I did is every single one of my clubbers, it's still 8. It always varies. I always have 2 people start and then 2 people drop off. But I had 8 clubbers again for this round. But what I did is I sent them a list of 25 cents. And then I asked them to pick the top 5 cents that they saw out of the list that they would like to try. What I'm doing is I'm about to show it to you. But I decided that I'm just going to give them some crinkle cuts. Because before they got a full cube, and out of 25 bars, that's 8 cubes a piece for 8 different people. All of the Mardi Gras, maybe it was Willy Wonka also, and then like maybe Scent of the Month. Now I can't remember. There was a lot of wax in there. I had 2 orders, and it was definitely not worth how much money I spent for the boxes. So I am doing something more efficient this time. I'm bringing it down, and this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to turn this around. Hold on. I'm going to turn this around. Okay. So I went through every single one of them that wanted a sample. I wrote it down. And I put the name on it. And then I went through and pulled all the bars. So, like, this is my next one to do. But there's only one I need. So only one person picked this. So I'm breaking open the bar. I go ahead and break these down. Now, since I'm only doing one, I just pick one of the smaller. I say one of the smaller ones like this. And this is what I'm going to cut. And this is how I do it. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm still going to break it up into like 3. I normally open this before, but because I'm showing you guys. And sorry, my desk is a mess because that's how my life is. And this is how my customers see it as well. Just put that small piece in there. Now, it's not totally flat. It's not going to go with the stamp. But this is at least something that I can do for each person. So, and I just put this right back in here because I'll use this in my house somewhere. If someone else wants a sample later on after I've done this, then I have, you know, I can always do more samples. I definitely didn't want to do over. And I definitely didn't want, okay, I'll clean up that mess here in a minute. I didn't want to do over, but I didn't want to also have to spend a long time. The longest time that I have spent so far was just writing the names down. Let me clean up my mess before I forget, because I'm one of those ADD. So I am doing those samples. I'm cutting them up. I am putting them in the little bag. So they'll have this on here. I may or may not put my sticker on the back. I have other stuff that's going in there. I just made this real quick. I didn't do my big fancy one anymore. I'm just doing this thank you so much. It says, thank you for being an amazing customer. It just has a picture of me that I took today because I'm doing them today, holding up some of the bars and just telling them it's a bring back my bar. So I'm going to mail these out. I'm going to get them all together and mail them Monday. I only mail, when I'm doing wax, I mail them Monday morning. Why do I mail them Monday morning? Because Monday morning, they will get shipped out and they may get there Tuesday or Wednesday. But that means they're not spending a lot of time just sitting somewhere. If I did it Friday and they didn't ship out Friday, they might not get them till Monday or Tuesday. So I'll be shipping them out USPS on Monday and getting those taken care of. These, again, after I mail these out, I can look at the tracking because I'm not just doing it by a stamp. I am doing it as a paid mail, paid postage. So it's going to go through USPS, and I use Pirate Ship, pirateship.com. It is free to use. You get discounted UPS, USPS, and I believe FedEx as well. You get discounted rates. So what you would normally pay at the post office for $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, I normally pay between $3 to ship things. So I try to keep that cheap because, again, there's 8 that's going out. And if it was a box, the cheapest box I've ever sent, and it was like in my own town, was still $6. So that even that with the discounted rates. But bring back my bars. If you were doing samplings for your customers, you need to look and make a decision. Are you getting the return that you're wanting? Sending out samples is great, and it's a great IPA. That means an income producing activity. But if it's not giving you the results, then there is something that's missing. So either you are not following up with your customers to find out how they liked it and if they want to place an order, or they don't know that they can order these scents, or you're sending too much because they got more than enough of it. You want to give them just enough to smell it, to warm it, to know if they like it, so they can either add it to their club, they can order it, they can something else. Like, it needs to have some kind of process. So anytime that you mail something out to your customers, you need to know, what am I going to do with this? Why am I sending it? How am I going to follow up? Am I going to just ask them if they like the scent? Am I going to ask them, are they going to put it into their club? So clubbers, I always ask, ooh, is it good enough to put into your club? That's something I say to them. So it's like I send them out a sample, even if it's at the beginning of the catalog season, and I'm sending rub and sniff stickers. I always say, does that sound like it's one that's going to be club worthy? Something of that sort. Because again, what is your goal? Sending out samples, what is your goal? You just want an order? Well, that's great. That's a goal to have. You want them in club? That's also a great goal. The other thing is, then you have to think about it. When their clubs start to get X amount, why would they not want to be a Scentsy consultant? So my end goal is to get as many clubbers as I can, and then to swap over those clubbers into teamies, because those people are the ones, they already know how to do the club. So when they have to explain it to their customers, they already know how to do it. And the other thing, do you use club? You can talk about the things that you know. You can talk about the scents that you've smelled. You can talk about the products that you've used. So when you tell me you can't get sales, you don't have any products, and nobody's buying from you, what are you sharing with your customers? Are you showing them how to put bars into club, how they can order cheaper if they have a club membership, how they can accumulate points? Can you tell them, like, if you have a certain wax that you are getting, like a new one just came in and you're like, oh my gosh, guys, it smells so good. And you're like, okay, so this makes me think of XYZ. And I think anybody who likes the scent similar or fruity, or you can say fragrance family, that you're really going to love this scent. I was very honest on my Bring Back My Bar smelling that I put up on my YouTube channel, because I told them, I'm like, I like this one, but there was wild watermelon. It says it has ripe watermelon, but it was not. It's more of just a melon, like a honeydew melon. And I like the sweeter melons. So I said, this is really great, but this melon is more that fresh. It's not really fruity. So I wanted to make sure that my customers knew that from when I smell it, that's what I smell. Because if they got it and were expecting it to be sweet, because they just went off the description, it's a little bit misleading. But again, that's just how I smell it. My customers know what scents they like off of what I tell them, good or bad. If I tell them it's more of my husband or my daughter's favorite scent because it's clean and fresh or woodsy, or floral, because those are not my jam, they know who they more likely to align with, because they know that we all have different smells, all like different favorite scents. So think about that when you are sampling your Bring Back My Bar. So drop down below, who is sampling Bring Back My Bar for your customers? Tell me how you're using it. If you are one to like to do the felts, felts are amazing. Those are the cheapest way because you can put them in an envelope. For me, melting each one of those scents, so 25 cents, 25, 15, even if I only did 10, maybe if I only did 5, it wouldn't be a big deal, but that means I'm changing that scent out every time. And that's why I don't like doing felts for a mass amount of scents, because you have to change out in between, because you don't want each scent to smell like the last scent you used. That's just me. So if you have a great way of using felts and changing a lot of scents out back to back, let me know, because I would love to know some tips and tricks and hacks. So that's what I have. If you have any questions, make sure that you drop them down below. As soon as I am done, I will go back through and I will answer anything. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I am Cassie Bollinger. I am the leader of hashtag no limit, y'all. It is just a way of thinking, guys. You never have limitations, or the only limitations you have are what you put on yourself. So if you tell yourself that there are no limits, then you have no reason to not reach any goal that you set your mind to. I love you all. I hope you have a blessed Saturday, and I'll talk to you guys soon.